Hi, Math Ninjas. How did you do on your quick check yesterday? Well, remember, if you got a 70, an 80, a 90, or a 100, you may go ahead and color in your next ninja. You may color in your next ninja brown. Okay, so do not forget to do that. Your next ninja, you may color brown if you got 100, 90, 80, or a 70. Now remember, if you got below a 70, I want you to look over the ones you missed, work on them with mom and dad, and then once you feel like you have a better understanding, then you can color it brown, okay? So we are on day 19 for both packets today, okay? So go ahead and get your big review preview packet out, and day 19 is what we are going to do together, okay? Our first one looks like we're going to be using our ruler. So go ahead and find the measurement of the gray piece of chalk. Now they want you to measure it to the nearest quarter inch, okay? So we have practiced writing fractions in our grid bubble chart, right? So if we look at the chalk is, and remember, I always like to just line it up. We've got 2, and it's in between the 2 and the 3. So we know that's 2.5 inches. So do you remember how we write that in our bubble grid? We always start in the very first box on the left side. So then we'd write our 2, bubble it in, our 1, bubble it in, our fraction. Remember, we're going to write our fraction bar. And then another 2. Okay, so 2.5. Okay, guys? All right, the next couple ones have to do with a line plot. Okay, now I am going to, remember, I always suggest the best strategy to use. You do what works best for you. But if you have some questions on that look like this, the best thing to do is to go ahead and make that line plot first so that you can answer the questions, okay? And I promise it will go a lot easier. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video in a minute and go ahead and plot all your points on the line plot, okay? So remember, the first thing we want to do is we want to start with the smallest number and end with the biggest number, right? Okay, so go ahead and pause your video, and when you are ready and you are done with your line plot, it's going to make it a lot easier to answer the next couple questions, okay? All right, so if you are still listening to my voice, that means you've paused it, you have made your line plot, right? So let's see what we should have done here, okay? If we look, we've got 46. 46 is what we start with. And I'm going to cross it off after I plot it, okay? So then we just go in order. Do we have some 47s? Yes. And I'm just going to keep checking each row until I have crossed off all the 47s. Hopefully you found 3 47s. Then we're just going to keep going in order. 48. Okay, you should have gotten 4. And then again, keep going in order. 49. You know what, guys? And this might happen. I thought 46 was the smallest, but really, I'm seeing one that's smaller now that I'm eliminating. So we want to go in order. So we have 45, but really our smallest was 44. Did you catch that one? Hopefully you did. All right, so let's see. We were at 49. Then we've got 50. I'm seeing some 50s. Remember, cross it off after you make the X, or cross it off first, then make the X. All right, so then we've got 51. Oops, I think I missed another 50. 51. Let's see. Then we've got 52. And ending with our greatest number. Did you get 53 as your greatest number for your line plot? And if you struggled with this, hopefully this helps you get a brain refresher on line plots. All right, so now we can answer the question. So let's go ahead and look at number 2. Andrea is making a line plot to show the data in the table. Which numbers will get 1 dot or X above them? All right, well, which ones have 1 X? Take a minute and look. All right, well, when I look, I see 44, I see 46, and I see 51. Do you see that as a choice? I do. Hopefully you picked B. Okay, now you might be saying, why did I have to do this line plot? Do you understand now why? Because it would be very confusing to try to figure out that question just by looking at the data. It's a lot easier when it's plotted out like this. Do you agree? Hopefully you do. All right, let's go ahead and look at number 3. Using the data table or our line plot in question 2, how many more dots will 48 inches have than 47? Again, if you were just looking at this, that's going to be hard. Take a minute and either look at my line plot or hopefully yours looks like mine and figure it out. All right, well, how many more with 47 and 48? Let's see. 47 has 1, 2, 3. 48 has 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know how many more I should be subtracting, and my answer should be, oops, sorry, I did this wrong. Get with it, Mrs. Harp. I did it backwards. 4 minus 3 equals 1. Okay, sorry, I gotta get my ninja focus on. Help me, ready? All right, so you should have gotten A1. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and look at the next one. Using the data table in question 2 or our line plot, how many dots will there be in all for heights 50 inches and above? Go ahead and take a minute and figure that one out. 50 inches and above. All right, so you should be counting 50 and above. Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You should have picked 9. Is that what you got? If you did, kiss that ninja brain and karate chop. Hiya! All right, next one. Oh, it looks like we might need to make another line plot, friends. Let's see. Lisa measured the length of her pencils to the nearest 4th inch. Make a line plot that shows the lengths of Lisa's pencils. So that's your first step. So go ahead and pause that video. Think about which one's the smallest. Hopefully I can remember. And then we go in order from there, okay? So hit pause and you should be ready when you push play to hear the answers. All right, so when I look and I'm focusing very hard, I'm noticing that there's a couple threes. So I'm going to start with 3. Is that what you started with? And I'm going to make 1, 2, 3 X's. Okay? Then I'm noticing that there's some half inches. So the next one should be 3 1/2. And I am only seeing 1. Is that what you saw? All right, so then next we go in order. We're going by half inches. So if we add a half to 3, we get 4. Did you have any 4s? You see how that strategy works when you cross them off? Okay, so then we're going 4 1/2. And I've got 1, 2, and then I am ending. Oh, 1, 2, sorry. 3. You should have 3 for 4 1/2. And then I'm ending with 5. Did you end with 5? And you should have gotten 1x. Okay? So which length will have the most dots? Which one has the most? Okay, well, let's see. 3 has 3. 3 1/2 has 1. 4 has 2. 4 1/2 has 3. And 5 has 1. What did you pick? A, B, C, or D? Well, 3 and 4 1/2 both have 3, so you should have picked D. Is that what you got? Awesome. All right, moving on to the other side, number 6. A pet store sells bags of dog food. Each bag weighs 7 kilograms. If you buy 3 bags, how many kilograms of dog food will you buy? Circle, box, underline. All right, well, I've got the number 7 and I've got the number 3. Did you circle those numbers? What did you box to help you figure out this problem? You should have boxed each. And by now, we should know that each means you're going to what? Multiply. If you did not do that, do it now. What is 7 times 3? What did you get? You should have gotten 21A. Did you? I hope so. All right, we're almost done, ninjas. Danny said the capacity of a bathtub is about 132 liters. Anna said it's 132 kilograms. Who is correct? Select the best answer. Go ahead and pause the video, take a minute, find your answer. All right, hopefully you were able to find an answer. If not, pause it and think for a minute. You should have picked A because liters are units of capacity. Remember, that's like the liquid that we measure. Do you remember I showed you that liter water bottle? And kilograms are units of mass, how much things weigh. Remember when we talked about the paper clip, which is equivalent to like a gram, and a book, which is equivalent to like a kilogram, okay? All right, moving on. So now I give you that little brain refresher if you didn't remember. Let's look at the next one. Name a metric unit that would be the best to measure the mass of a sugar cube. Which one do you think? Meter, kilogram, gram, or liter? All right, well, there should have been 2 that you could have eliminated right away, because if we're measuring the mass, that's how heavy something is. Okay, so a meter measures how long something is, not how heavy. And then it kind of rhymes. A liter, we just refreshed our brain, measures liquid, right? The capacity. So we're not measuring that when we're measuring the mass of a sugar cube. So which one did you pick? Kilogram or gram? Well, hopefully you remember because I just told you a gram is like a paper clip. A sugar cube does not weigh a lot, right? So that would be equivalent to a gram to that paper clip. A sugar cube does not weigh as much as a book. Remember, a kilogram would be 100 paper clips or a book, okay? All right, we're almost done. We've got our capacity and we've got our mass on the brain. Let's look at the next two. Jason has 3 bottles of juice. Each bottle holds 3 liters. His friend Natalie has 6 bottles of juice, each of which holds 1 liter. How much more juice does Jason have than Natalie? How many steps? Go ahead and solve it. Push play when you're ready to go over it. All right. Well, we know Jason has 3 bottles. Each is 3 liters, right? So Jason, and you know what? I lied. It might actually be 3 steps. Jason would be 3 times 3. So we know Jason is equal to 9 liters. Natalie has 6 bottles and each holds 1. So we know Natalie is equivalent to 6 liters. 1 step, 2 step. What's the 3rd step? What do you have to do with 9 and 6? How much more? You better be subtracting, friends. And 9 minus 6 equals what? It equals 3 liters. So you should have picked B. If you did, do a ninja bow. All right, last one. Sergio is looking for a tool to measure the capacity of a water bottle. Which tool should he use? Take a minute and bubble that one in. All right, well, most of these should be pretty silly. We might have even fell out of our chair laughing at clock. We're not going to measure the capacity of a water bottle with a clock. Or, remember, a pan balance or a yardstick. So you should have picked D, 1 liter container. If you did, give me a whoop, whoop. All right, so remember, we are on day 19 today. Everything is day 19. So for your independent practice in the FSA warm-ups, remember, you don't have to do day 18. That was yesterday when you took your quick check. You can if you'd like, okay? It might help you. But today, you are doing day 19. You are answering questions 50 and 51, and then you are having somebody check it. All right, friends? All right, we are getting so close to becoming those Basal Math Ninja Masters. 1 more belt to go. So proud of you. Good job. Double high five. I will talk to you tomorrow.